Yo guys, I know it has been a while since I've done something like a tier list for Anime Last Stand. However, today, I will just be ranking the top 10 best units in Anime Last Stand. As honestly, there are just way too many units in the game, so yay. I will rank the units from the 10th spot all the way to number 1. Yeah. Just a quick disclaimer before the video starts, every unit in this list is very overpowered.
Oh my god!
And lastly, this list is just my personal opinion, so it might not be true to everybody. With that, let us start off at number 10. At number 10, we got Alright, starting off at number 10, we have one of the newest units that got added. Evolved Cid. I think that he is like an overpowered version of the Guts unit. Although he is pretty expensive. He does have full AoE and bleed, making him just very broken. He also has a nuke ability at his final upgrade. However, I believe that you can only achieve that upgrade in infinites, as it costs a whole million to get. But overall, he is just what you really look for in an overpowered unit. He has full AoE, he is hybrid, and he also bleeds. Huge W of a unit. Alright, we now move on to number 9. Alright, at number 9, we have the captain of the 7th Division, Benimaru. Benimaru is probably one of the best starting units in the game currently, having black flames and just doing big damage on general on placement. He has good range, good attack, and a good thing about this unit is he does not have an Evo. So once you get him, you can invest in him immediately. He is very broken and has a very big circle AoE in his last upgrades, very broken unit, however. One thing holding him back is the fact he gets black flames on his final upgrades. I believe that black flames is possibly one of the worst damage passive, as it just takes way too long for it to end. And yay, with that we move on to number 8. At number 8, we have the glorious king himself. The one who stands above all units in my heart, Boba Evo. Boba Evo has got to be the best starting unit in the game currently. On upgrade 2, he basically becomes a full-time menace. He has the best passive for starting units, where you literally just get 60% more money for each kill. He is very cheap to upgrade, and he probably has one of the highest DPS in the game. If you did not know, on this upgrade here, it looks as if he lost his poison passive and gained the slow passive. Wrong, I do not know why, but Anime Class Stand has a bug where if you have to passives, it hides one, so on this upgrade onwards, not only does he slow, he also still has the poison passive, making him not only a good support, but an absolute demon damage dealer. Boba is just the GOAT man. I mean, check out this video I made on him. He can literally solo the Fire Purgatory stage. By himself, yes, only him alone, he is him. At number 7, we have the most opium vampire in all of anime, Alucard. Honestly, I am not really sure of this ranking. However, based off what I heard from people, this unit is also completely broken. He has bleed, he is pretty cheap to max out, and he also has full AoE with bleed. And on top of that, he has a very high DPS too. And lastly, he has his passive. To be honest, I am not sure how good this passive is, but from people, I have heard that it is pretty broken, and it is basically just a free full AoE attack every 40 seconds with more damage. And yay, just a solid overcrept unit. With that we move on to number 6. At number 6, we have the glorious queen of this game, Needle Queen. Alright Needle Queen, I do not have her evolved, but will definitely get her evolved soon. I think for this one, I can explain to you why she is here. With one picture, check out her passive. Yay! That basically sums up why she is here. She is basically a unit you can use in every content in the game. Definitely the most broken passive in the game currently. Alright, With that, we move on to number 5. At number 5, we have the man who defeated Yamamoto with no injuries at all. My GOAT, Iwatch. Yay, Iwatch is pretty broken. He has one of the highest DPS in the game, I believe. He is full AoE, of course. Has the electrified passive, and just like Ichigo Godly, he also buffs units in his range with like a 10% damage button. Honestly, just another broken full AoE unit, and also provides a small support to the team with his passive. Overall, W unit, and with that, we move on to number 4. Alright guys, I think most of you saw this coming. But from here on out, every unit is a godly. So yay, starting off at number 4, and what I sadly consider is the worst godly currently. We have Ichigo. Alright Ichigo, he is the cheapest godly to place down, but is sadly also the worst godly. Let me explain. First of all, there is no point of using his first slot passive when a scanner is basically the same. And last the permanently, and although Ichigo still has his buff in range passive, he is just not as good as other godlies. This is because he has Black Flames as a passive. First of all, Black Flames is still the worst damaging passive due to how long it procs. And secondly, he is not full AoE. I mean yes, he has this very long line AoE at his final upgrade. But it is just not as good as a full AoE. So yay, very broken unit still, do not get me wrong. But not as great as other godlies. Alright, next. And with that, we are now in the big 3. So kicking it off at number 3, we have the vampire who has ascended the heavens. Alright, Dio over heaven, I do not have him sadly. However, this unit is very broken, although he does not have a pretty good first slot passive. His damage and just overall everything about him is broken. He has one of the highest DPS of course, he also has one of the most broken abilities in the game. That basically stops time for a very long time, making him meta for infinite leaderboard runs or whatnot. And lastly, just look at his circle AoE. I might consider this better than a full AoE. Very broken unit. However, I am pretty sad, as I did not get him and he is limited. But come on man, I am sorry, the grind to get him was honestly to log in. And with that, we move on to number 2. At number 2, we have the Lion Sin of Pride. The one, Escanor. Although he might be the first godly, he is still the second best godly. I mean, just look at this guy man. Let me just show you his passive real quick. Yes, a free 20% increase in damage for your entire team by putting this guy in your first slot. And just look at my Escanor at his final upgrade. I mean, just look at this. This is absolutely absurd. I cannot believe that although he is like 3 months old now, not many units even come close to this guy. Full AoE with a range this massive, and just look at the damage. And unlike Ichigo where he had Black Flames, Escanor has normal flames, which is actually a good damage passive since it takes a short time to proc. I do not really have much to say anymore. He is the best support in the game with the free 20%. And one of the greatest damage dealer, just eat the GOAT. He truly deserves the title of E1. And with that, we move on to our number 1 spot.
あの時の俺なら破れていたかもしれんな。領域展開。福間水氏。
And surprise, surprise, we have the king of all curses himself. He has everything. He has an amazing passive, which I believe is comparable to Escanor's 20% damage buff. Sukuna has 2 abilities. That is right, 2 abilities. And both are huge damage nukes, one doing 3 billion and the other doing 10 billion. He applies Dismantle on his final attack moves. And if you do not know what Dismantle does, just look at this. Yay, I believe this is the best damaging passive in the game, and is equivalent to Hemorrhage. And for his Ifnal attack, although it is not full OE, I mean come on, this is basically the same thing. And just take a look at this guy's damage, man. Yay, he is absolutely crazy. My King Sukuna, no wonder, he did this to Gojo. So yay guys, what do you think of my list? Was it good or was it bad? Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and peace.
Said she love me, which one loves he I like? If she call me long